Hey, so I'm trying to manifest something, right? So right now, and especially when it comes down to cult leaders, I have this one particular. I don't know if it's just one. I think it's like multiple, but it's a cult leader that's like he's a slave because all the cult leaders are fucking slave masters, right? Cult leaders are cult O with the O and just with the C. We already know. What's up, y'all? This is Smooth, Miss Uncut, and we already know that when it comes down to cult leaders, that they are all slave masters and shit like that. I'm trying to manifest right now because I just went outside. And like everybody, because it's Friday, everybody's acting tough. So I guess tomorrow, when it comes down tomorrow, I guess nobody's gonna be tough. I guess because it's time to go out and like do whatever they do and shit like that. The cult leaders like go attack, doggies. What up, doggies? Pawning the shit out of everybody. Just using everybody as a fucking pawn. So I have multiple people saying shit to me. I'm like, but you don't want to fight. There's nothing wrong with throwing hands. But you don't want to fight. You want to talk shit as you passing somebody. That's pussy. My thing is, what's up, Jimmy? My thing is, how does a cult leader tell they people to go and attack people, but he won't do it himself, or she won't do it herself? I don't understand that. Like me, if I could manifest and schedule a fight with a cult leader, you know what I'm saying? Like, and tell that motherfucker, listen, you can't use magic. Magic can't save you. You can't, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't, what do you call that shit? Harvest somebody's energy. You can't use no magic. You can't use no blood, no nothing. My experience of being harassed by this particular group of people, and they pussy as fuck because they wait until Friday. During the rest of the week, they're like, oh, this cool, it's okay. But once it turned Friday, today it's like, oh no, now we're going to change. Like, what are you changing for? Aren't you your regular self? But oh yeah, I forgot your slave master, the occult leader, or cult leader, because it could go either way, right? In any fucking culture. You know what I'm saying? Like, that motherfucker is not a leader. I'm sorry to tell you guys that, you know what I'm saying, like, if you are part of a cult and whatnot, you don't have a leader on your hands. You have a slave master. Now, me particularly, I wouldn't mind fighting a fucking a cult leader because I look at him as a slave master. So, for me, I know that I'm going to want to sit up there and beat the brakes off that motherfucker. Like, something. Something got to happen. Something got to give. So, just in case that, like, you're locked into something that you don't know nothing about, and you don't know that you're in a cult or anything like that, you have a cult leader, that's a slave master. That motherfucker don't want you to break free at all. In his lifetime, they don't want you to break free whatsoever. Me personally, I mean, like I said before, if there could be like a scheduled fight or something like that between me and a cult leader and shit like that, I would be like, I would have so much fun. But more than likely, because it's a cult leader, they like abuse. So more than likely, they would want somebody to abuse them. They would probably like it if I did it. But they would never come out and just say, yeah, no, it's me. They would put somebody up in front and be like, no, just act like it's me and this, down, and third, or what have you. We already know how that should go. Occult leaders don't show their face. They use people as pawns. They use people as pawns and they fucking hide. They, they throw their rock and they hide their hand. They fucking, they have they fucking balls in their tail and between their legs at all fucking times. You know that shit. But damn, that's so fucked up. It's like, what type of life is this for me? And I gotta sit up there and be attacked by people I don't know. Like, I'm a leader. If I'm gonna be attacked by a leader, it should be the actual leader. That's how I feel about it. It's like, grow some fucking cojones. Grow some balls. Face, you know what I'm saying? Face the wrath. Face your rapture and shit like that. Why be a cult leader and be pussy? But then I understand it's just for control. It's like, how do you call a cult leader a leader? And they, you know what I mean, like, going out and fucking attacking people and shit like that. And when it hit Friday, all of a sudden they grow their balls. So wait, do balls grow on Friday? And I mean lightly? And do they get tucked back in during the night? You know what I'm saying? And then Saturday it just go back to a pussy? Because I think that's what I'm dealing with. I'm thinking about, like, you know what I'm saying, like how this shit operate. And I think this particular occult leader, I think he got balls, but either he tucks it in. He wasn't, you know what I'm saying, like he tucks it in between his legs and shit, and he waits until Friday for the whole week, maybe. Or maybe it just disappears completely. And then he just, you know what I'm saying, like he tucks it back in, or it disappears, and on Friday it's like, yeah, like, yo, I got all the balls in the world. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to do the work, but I'm going to tell my people to. That's how that works. When I go outside, I want you guys to answer me. Nobody can sit up there and walk past me and say shit that they won't say to my face. I don't want to hear that. I'm talking to everybody. Because when I say these Europeans and shit on this side, like where I live at, when I say the occult leader, he doing some pussyfied, bona fide shit, he on it. He just on a pussy. He just showing his pussy. Now, I'm kind of a dick. I'm a big dickhead. The thing is, that occult leader might want to get fucked by me. But I want him to be able to face me. You know what I'm saying? So for everybody that's outside right now, y'all on y'all live, or you watching my live, or you get the chance to watch this shit, right? You know what I'm saying? And you know that it's your actual occult leader, your actual slave master. I'm gonna need you to tell your actual slave master that's trying to attack me to grow some balls and face me himself, or her to face me herself. Don't show your part. Like, I'm a leader. A leader should face a leader. Should never be scared. I just want to leave this with y'all because I think that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think that the occult leader or occult leaders need some type of repair. You know what I'm saying? Like, they need healing too. I can make them heal. But before I make them heal, I think they want me to hurt them first and then heal. So we could do a step-by-step process. You know what I'm saying? A 1 and 2. That would be good. That would be great. I think that would be very good for them. You know what I'm saying? Like the step-by-step process. First he'll get hurt or she'll get hurt first, and then they could heal after that. Throw some band-aids on that motherfucker, maybe some gauze pads and shit. That's all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Like, motherfuckers need to heal after they get hurt. So, if you're watching my live and you're a cult leader, watching my live and your cult leader actually sent you to me and shit like that, tell your cult leader to grow some fucking... Matter of fact, show him my video. And then tell him, listen, don't send one of their doppelgangers, one of their impersonators and shit like that. Don't do that. That shit ain't cool. That shit ain't cool. Because what they like, I like to report this shit because me and my son, we're being harassed a lot. Especially by the Jewish community too. Because, you know, they got a cult leaders and shit. Now, mind you, not all of them, but I'm talking about the ones that actually own the shelter. Right? So there's a particular fucking Jewish occult that's actually, you know what I'm saying, like they're trying to harass my son. But we already know that particular Jewish leader or that particular rabbi or whatever would never come and face me and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, he would tuck his fucking balls in. I just want him to grow some fucking cojones. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna keep, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a whole hate crime. It's a whole fucking hate crime. And that's exactly what it is. So, yeah, me and my son is experiencing a fucking hate crime. I'm glad I'm doing this on my live, y'all. Y'all can actually hear this shit. You know what I mean? And this could get out to the world, too, at the same time. But this actually what I really wanted to do. I wanted to get it to the actual cult leader. I know they're going to see this. Thank you, Victor. I know they're going to see this. You know what I'm saying? Like, somebody's going to show their cult leader, like, yo, she's talking about you. Yeah. And, maybe the people that they actually work with and somebody will really see this video and be like, yo, that's what you do? This is how you run your fucking organization? You fucking harass people, especially, you know what I'm saying, the kids, you know what I'm saying, and the mother and stuff like that. Like, damn, what did she do? Because we already know when it comes down to the shelter and stuff like that, the people that own it that's actually Jewish and German, they like to harass people and they like to get them fired from their job and all of that too at the same time. When I say they do, they'll call up your job and everything. They will call your job up to get you fired. Those are the type of cult leaders that they're actually supporting. And what they do is, after they do that, they figure like, listen, you're going to fall into some type of deep depression because you lost your job or what have you. And then after that, you know, they're going to want the credibility and they're going to want to say, oh, yeah, no, but, you know, like, if you, let's just say that, you know, like a person goes into some type of addiction. So they want to say, they're going to want to say, you know, like, oh, we helped this person get out of it and try to get a job when that person was doing anything in the first place. Because they follow me everywhere. They follow me everywhere, like, yo, where's she going, this, that, and then she'll, you know, like, they'll put people in the shelter to follow me too and follow my son. Excuse me. I think this need to be reported. I think this is a great, you know what I'm saying, platform to actually do this shit on too. And I think this will get this will get to the right person too at the same time. Because we already know that they're not innocent at all. And plus they are part of this whole, how you say this shit? Heist. Did y'all know that when it comes down to the shelter system and the Jewish people that own the shelter system, they are a part of this whole homeless heist? Like, you see the migrants coming in, well, they're so packed in, like, they can't, like, they're washing it. They was trying to wash the money. They're part of the money laundering. If you guys don't think that Jewish people aren't part of money laundering, they are. Like I said before on my live, migrants, every migrant is worth $500,000 and they're sleeping on the streets. The shelter system, they can't, their accountant, the IRS, the IRS, if they look at the books, Jewish people, they cook the books. Like, somebody need to really get on that shit. They really cooking the books right now. Like, let's just say, because you know how Biden is building a wall and shit like that, right? So, in New York City, like, you see homeless people laying on the ground. But every last migrant is worth $500,000. So they washing the fucking money. They cooking the books. And the shelter is owned by Jewish people. So they bookkeeper, yeah. Ain't holding a lot, y'all. That's some shit. That's some shit. Like, I'm surprised. Because I wouldn't think that anybody that's supposed to be a part of this, you know, such a great organization of a shelter and shit like that, I would never think that they would do something like that or be a part of it. It's like it sound like, I don't know, it sound like a white collar crime a little bit. A lot, actually. It sounds like white collar. Somebody really need to look at their books. I'm just saying. I'm just pointing out the obvious. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, what I'm talking about, y'all. I don't know what I'm talking about. Don't I sound crazy? I don't sound crazy to y'all. You know, like, because you know people like to throw that word crazy out so much. So much could happen when you use the word crazy on somebody. Like, you know how many people who actually, like, when I was a kid, they told me there was so many homeless people, like, back in the 80s, and they said they were so smart, right? Mind you, this guy was rich, and he was telling me a story. It sounds like a scary story. It is. So, what they do in the shelter system, right? Especially the people that own it, they just like to, like, call the cops on people and try to get them locked up. Oh, wait, that happened to my son last year. Like, imagine that you're in a shelter and you had to lose your place because you got famous or your house burnt down, and all of a sudden these people just sit up there and decided, oh, we just want to call the asylum and just call you crazy. Just imagine that shit. Now, if you think they don't just gonna pick on people, I know that's kind of far-fetched, but if you take a look outside and how many migrants is outside that's sleeping outside on the ground, what they do is with that, if it sounds crazy, you could come up to New York if you want to and see how many migrants is lying down the ground. They pick them out, right? And what they do is after they pick them out, the people from the shelter that own the shelter, they try to get their blood and their organs and stuff like that and sell it on the black market because they go disappearing. Some of them, they disappear. Oops, I wasn't supposed to say that. Right? So they sell them on the fucking black market and shit like that. Or they, like, because, you know, the shelter system, they actually support prostitution too at the same time. So that's the reason why that they want you to lose your job. Like, let's just say that you coming into the shelter and they see you with a job or whatever, and they're like, oh shit, they got a job, we're gonna try to make you lose it. So they support prostitution because they force you into prostitution. These type of Jewish people that actually own the shelter are sex traffickers. Okay? So if you ever wonder why a woman is actually selling herself and she lives in a shelter or whatever, because the Jewish people that own the shelter, those type of Jewish, those are sex traffickers, y'all. Watch your kids when it come down to those type of Jewish people. Now you could actually look them up and, you know what I'm saying, research and things like that nature and do your thing. You know what I'm saying? And those are the type of cowards that you got to sit up there and say, you be like, damn, that's kind of fucked up. Because imagine that. And I have to wait until Friday to actually, you know what they call bullying or whatever. Like, listen, I'm always going to defend myself, and I have the right to protect myself. I have the right to do that. But can a Jewish person be a cult leader? Can a rabbi be a cult leader? Hell yeah. That's all they fucking do. Look at Mormons. Look at the Amish. Amish got fucking occult leaders all day. Them motherfuckers be like, nah, you can't contact nobody. You blink twice, can't blink twice because you can't even see a motherfucker. They don't even come out of their compound. They call it a compound or whatever. Like, no, we don't use no type of devices. I heard somebody just got shunned out of the fucking Amish because I guess they people found out that they had a cell phone. They shunned them for every little fucking thing. That shit is crazy as fuck. I just wanted to report to y'all, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know what I'm saying, like, just like they reporting to me, I figured that this need to get out to the world too. You know, like, I think it's only right. You know, like, because when I come out, like I came out today, that had so many people, and they was just walking by and they was just saying shit, and I was just like, damn, I don't even know you. And not only that, not only do I not know them, but why am I being harassed? Why is your Jewish occult leader harassing my kid? Why are y'all cooking the books? Why are you kidnapping migrants? Why are y'all selling migrants? Why are you promoting and why are you forcing people into prostitution? They doing so much white collar crime. Damn, I ain't say this much before either, but it wasn't until, you know what I'm saying? Like, damn. This shit fucked up, y'all. Oh, I meant to tell y'all. Yeah, damn. I'm crazy. I haven't experienced anything in life. I'm only 42 years old. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what I'm talking about now, do I? Damn. When you see shit for such an amount of time, and you're like, damn, why are these people acting like that towards me? I didn't fuck up their shit. Not yet. Or anything like that. But they attack them, and what they do is, when you come into the shelter system, they do have a way of telling their staff to actually pick on you and shit like that too at the same time. Now, it depends on which shelter it is, especially if you're single, but if you family, not really. But in a single shelter, because they figure like, you know, like they're like, once you try to give them your emergency contact and all the people that you know, they'll stalk you, harass you, and the people that you actually put down on an emergency contact and try to take your house away and stuff like that. See if you have title insurance and things like that nature. That'd be easy, because remember, they Jewish. That's, you know what I'm saying, like, they're greedy as fuck. You know what I'm saying, when they come down to the shelter, the people that own this shelter, you know what I'm saying, these shelters. Now, me saying that, this is one of the shelter that I'm at, right? This is one of the shelters that's just like up there in Harlem. They have this one particular shelter, right? And I was in that shelter. It was a single woman shelter, right? Here goes another scary story, y'all. So it was a fucking, it's a shelter up there in Harlem, right? So they did a report stating that, you know, people were there for like 5 years. Just like here. They not pushing anybody out here. Why? Because like anytime that you get a job, anything, because like I've seen Jewish people fucking follow me. They was following me. Like the ladies and everything, like they on the bus or whatever. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Like I'm just thinking that, you know what I'm saying, it was normal. But then when somebody's looking at you in a certain way, or if they following you, then you notice that because you live in New York City, you gotta really be careful, right? So the crazy thing about that shelter is just like this one. There's people that's been here for like 5 to 6 years. They want them to stay. They don't want them to go. They want them to turn into drug addicts. The whole main operation of the shelter system when it comes down to Jewish, because they are very racist. And you might say, oh, well, they let people in. Well, they let people in to try to kill them. They commit murder. That's what the fuck they do. That's their whole plan. Whatever you have, then you're going to try to go and get it. That's exactly what the fuck they do. Right? So, those people up there in Harlem, 5 to 6 years, they stayed in the shelter. Those were single women. In this shelter, for what I'm hearing, 5 to 6 years. I've met people that was here 5 to 6 years. They're not helping them get out at all whatsoever. They are very lazy. And when it comes down to those Jewish, some type of Jewish people that own these shelters, they are very lazy. I don't see how they get their accolades at all. I don't see how they get any type of credibility. I cannot congratulate any of those Jews at all whatsoever. I would love to, but they don't deserve it. That's just what the fuck it is. They don't deserve to be, they don't deserve to have any accolades. Anybody that's related to them, they're probably I don't even want to say they lazy too, but at the same time, that's they fucking people. So imagine how the fuck they act. Imagine how the fuck they treat people and shit. Thank you, Zaza. Like, how do you, especially when you already see people that's down and they Jewish, and I thought like when I was a kid, I actually thought that Jewish was supposed to be like up here, like they supposed to teach you some spiritual shit. And I thought when it came down to Jewish people, I actually thought that they were supposed to be, you know what I'm saying, like high ranking in the fucking spiritual world, because that's how I was taught. Everybody has a different spirituality. Everybody has a different religion. Everybody has a different everything, right? You know what I'm saying? We all don't look alike. You can't expect everybody to look like you or act like you. And I'm not okay with acting like somebody else. I actually like being me and shit like that. Right? So, most people know that about me. So my whole thing is, it's like, how the fuck do these people write books and they don't do shit? It's like, yeah, and I hope this person do that. Yeah, but it's like, yeah, they did it, but they only did it because first they had to get them down to the, you know what I'm saying, like get them down into like a drug addict mode. And then it's like, oh, we're going to try to get you some help. Like, the only help that you actually needed was either a voucher. And this is how they do it. It's like, okay, so the facilities that they might have is nothing but, you know what I'm saying, like in urban areas where they would just consider, oh, well, you would want to live in a fucked up urban environment anyway. So now they redlining. Now the Jewish people are the Jewish people always redline. And they steering. Not only redlining, they're fucking steering. You know what I'm saying? In the shelter system, that's what they do. They redline, they're steering, and they're fucking blockbustering too at the same time. All three. So they triple threaten this shit. So now you sitting up there, you like, damn, why I can't get out of here? You got to give us 4 pay stubs and this, down, the third, what have you. Well, in order for you to get those 4 pay stubs, you do have to work, right? But how you going to go to work if you have Jewish people following you to your job to get you fired, and they threatening your boss, or they threatening your supervisor, and they make so much you know what I'm saying, they make it so much problems for you, so you don't work anymore, so now you stuck in the shelter. That's how the fuck they do it. And that's how the fuck they line your ass up and be like, oh, well, you know, this person don't do nothing, this, down, the third, whatever. But they don't do shit. The people that own the fucking shelters, they are very lazy people. Those type of Jews are lazy. Those are slave masters, y'all, that own this shit. That's just what the fuck it is. They slave masters, and that's exactly how anybody that want to come into the shelter system, you're dealing with a slave master rabbi, along with everybody else that come along with him in this fucking shit that they partner up in. So just be, you know what I'm saying, like, be due diligent. Don't tell them all your fucking business. Don't give them everything. When it comes down to your jobs, I know you're going to need them 4 pay stubs, but you could do that shit by yourself. One thing they hate, one thing a Jewish person that own these shelters hate, they hate a motherfucker that work, and they hate a motherfucker that know how to speak up for themselves and have a fucking voice, and know how to fucking protect themselves, and know how to sit up there and go about doing things where they don't even fucking expect it. They don't like challenges. They don't know what a real challenge is. And on top of that, they don't really know what a competition is either. I've never seen a Jewish person compete for anything a day in my life. All I seen them do is just take, slave master shit. Take. And then when it comes down to the shelter system, that's all they fucking do is take. It's nothing but slave masters that own this shit. They don't want you to work. They want you to be a drug addict, and they want you to look bad. And then they want to take credibility if they was to build you back up if you was an addict. That's all they want to fucking do. So am I a private investigator? Hell yeah, I'm a private investigator for my own life. Motherfucking right I am. Hell yeah. Like, cause that shit is fucked up. That shit is really fucked up. And it's like, they don't want anyone to know how to explain. Like, I knew a girl, and she was a fucking paralegal, and she was in a shelter. She told me she got fired from her job. She wasn't the only one that told me that got fired from her job that entered the shelter. These women that I spoke to, multiple women told me once they entered the shelter system and they gave them the pay stubs and everything, and the numbers and everything to their job, all of a sudden they got fired. They was doing well on their job. As soon as they gave them the pay stubs and they gave them the number, this is what the Jewish people do that owns the shelter. They are slave masters. They are fucking occult leaders. My bad, y'all. My mouth got watery. My mouth got watery as fuck. They are slave masters. I mean, yellow rice. They are slave masters. Okay? And people from Israel, Top Gun in fucking slave mastery. And they're not mad. They're not scared to hide it. Those people in Israel, those type of Jews in Israel, those are occult leaders. Those are slave masters, y'all. And I've actually worked in a Jewish school. And it said this is how they got a book besides the Torah. And it said this is how you treat your slave. And you think I'm bullshitting you. If you think I'm bullshitting y'all. I was a fucking paraprofessional. And I went to a fucking Jewish school. And I had to work with the Jewish kids. And these kids are learning how to be a slave master. They have a book on it, y'all, and it says, like, it has pictures and everything in the book showing, yo, this is how you treat your slave. Okay? So if you ever wonder when you come to New York City and you wonder why, what happened to these people, either they got thrown in jail on purpose, because that's what they do too. They follow you everywhere, and they have their own people illegally surveillance you, unlawfully surveillance you, follow you everywhere you go, like it's their job and shit like that, or what have you. Go and harass and gang stalk you, which is a hate crime. Report it as a hate crime. Report that shit to the FBI too at the same time, as a fucking white collar crime too at the same time. That's what the fuck they do, y'all. So all that shit is circulated fucking money. I'm getting off my live. Like, I'm getting off my live, because that right there. So after all of that shit, and they doing a pussified shit, and we already know they not going, you know what I'm saying, like, like, nah. Hell nah. So I'm glad I spoke up, and I will be speaking up again. So if you ever wonder why people out here like that, it's mainly because of these Jewish people that actually own these shelters. This is what they wanted. So let's just say somebody came in and somebody checked their books, because they cooked the books and shit like that. Yeah, we need to hear that. That shit need to be addressed. That shit need to be on the fucking news. It need to be. It just need to fucking be. I never seen you on my live before. Who are you? So if anybody have any type of life experiences, anything like that to explain, I never seen you a day in my life. I never seen your username ever. I don't know you. Make sure that you join the fan club. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I don't know you though, but yeah. Make sure you join the fan club. I appreciate it. So if anybody have any type of stories, you know what I'm saying, especially for the kids that's out there and they in these shelters, adoption agencies, you know what I mean, orphanage, and we know how they treat people that's adopted in orphanages, you know what I'm saying, like kids that like they just don't have no placement or homes or anything like that. This message is for y'all. I want you guys to actually be careful and be safe out there. I think I gave you info, but I don't think I gave you enough info. I will be back on my live. And shit like that. And so I can give you more info about the shelter, so you know how to go about certain things. Make sure that you don't give them no information that they don't need. All right? Like the shit that, you know what I'm saying? Like, you need that type of information, because these people will try to set you up to make sure that you know, no. Because I think the Jewish people actually had enough. And I think it's time for them to actually come out and start being a little bit more extroverted and being a little bit more, as it say, not social, but more friendlier. Because if you notice, when it comes down to Jewish people, they are very unpleasant people. Most of them are very unpleasant. And they will not shake it. Like, I don't expect anybody to shake anybody's hand. It's fucking Corona. But the thing about it is, the treatment of people, like, if you come out here and you record these people, and it's just like, it's very standoffish. It's very disrespectful, and it's very standoffish. And they are very hostile people and very aggressive people too at the same time. So when it comes down to it and shit like that, you know, when you're dealing with those type of Jewish people that own these shelters and things like that nature, and, you know, it's like how they act in running a fucking business, especially the organization where they say that they actually help people. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the reason why I'm happy that they do have moles. I'm glad that they have people, they have informants and shit like that to come into these shelters so they can see exactly what the fuck is going on. They have people that's in here for like 5 to 6 years. And I had plenty of women, yes, I had enough women that actually tell me that they follow them to their job, or they call their job up and all of a sudden they don't have a job anymore. And they expect them, you know what I'm saying? Like, they push them, it's like they force them to prostitution. And that's something that they don't want to do. So if you're a teenager and you know that you know what I'm saying, you in a shelter, I hope you watch this video. I hope y'all, you know what I'm saying, watch your fucking back when you in this shit. You in an orphanage. If you in fucking adoption, you know what I'm saying, watch, you know what I'm saying, watch what these motherfuckers is doing, even if they are not Jewish. Even if they are not Jewish and they are of different, you know what I'm saying, descent, a race. Just watch yourself, because these people are very greedy. All right, I'm getting off my live. I hope y'all enjoy the rest of your weekend and everything. You know, like, I'll definitely have more information. I actually did a live before like this, and I think I gave everybody like basic information or something like that. I think I gave them basic information. So hopefully you see this and you hold that. Like, I hope you take this with you. If you don't, you don't. If you do, you do. That's on you. All right? I'm Miss Uncut, and I will be joining y'all again. I appreciate y'all. Thanks for listening.